What up, nerds? We're back in your ear holes for another episode of the Winners You podcast. We are here to talk all things PlayStation today. Alex, before we do that, I need to ask you how you're doing. And you need to tell me about your lovely new room that you're sitting in just now.
Well, yes, it's definitely lovely. Well, it'll be lovely when I finished it. It's probably not lovely for audio recording. So if there's any echo, dear listener, I apologise. There is not enough soft furnishings in this room to soak up the bouncing voice.
The bouncing dulcet tones.
The wobbly air. I've got some acoustic panels in front of me, but they don't appear to be doing the best job in the world. How am I doing? Well, I feel like I'm coming down with something.
Excellent.
Right before our holiday together. Great timing.
Good. Can't wait for that.
Just to add to the ongoing sciatica, I had my flu jab, so I don't think I'm going to get
it might be that.
disgustingly ill.
Yeah.
No, I had the flu jab ages ago.
It's not as a result of your flu jab. Okay.
No, I think it's a result of my child. This is probably always going to be the result. But so far, it's just a sore throat and a bit of a wobbly voice. So I can handle that. I won't kiss you, and we'll be fine.
Good.
The room, yeah, it's not easy to do with sciatica, so I've had to get a lot of old retired men to come in and do a lot of it.
Old retired men to come and do the young man's.
They do the lifting and the carrying and stuff, and I'll just hammer some nails in for them and do some screws.
I feel like that's my job anyway. Like I as soon as some sort of manual task comes along, because I was thinking about today, I got stuck in a ditch. Because as I was showing you, there's lots of snow outside, and I had to go into the office.
In your car?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was driving. There's a hill you go down, and I got to the top of the hill, put the brakes on, and skidded all the way down. And the scary thing about that though, is there's a main road that sort of intersects in a T junction, and I did not stop for that, so I went skidding out into the road. And ended up facing the wrong direction. Luckily, everything was going quite slowly, so they all stopped. So I was like, right, I'm going to go a little bit forward, then there's a turn in just to my right. I'll go in there, turn around, and just carry on my way. Because I'm not going back up that hill. I just skidded down because there was cars sort of stuck on it.
You didn't get up it.
No, exactly. So I went down, turned into this right turn, and the same thing happened again. I skidded all the way down to this hill, and then just ended up in a ditch. Tried to reverse out and got stuck. And I was like, well, I guess this is where my car lives now. Because like anything manual related, I just don't know what to do. God. I don't know how to get a car out of a ditch. So I sort of phoned Annie and we've got a grit box at the end of our road. Got her to like fill a bucket full of grit and bring down some shovels, and I just sort of chucked loads of grit around the wheels of the car in the hope that would fix it. And then,
that's so handy though. Scotland think of everything.
Yeah. But no, it didn't work. So I just had to sort of sit, and then eventually a farmer just came and rescued me, and he was a nice old man. And I was like, whenever I get rescued in things like this, or like in bad weather and things like that, it's always like a nice old man or a farmer. And I was like, what happens when these nice old men die? Are they going to be replaced?
It's just our generation. I'm not helping anyone.
Because there was just so many people just driving past. Like no one stopped, said, are you all right? They just carried on their way. And I was like, and just like the first old man that came along stopped and helped. And I was like, are we going to graduate into these old men, or is this a generational thing that people just don't? And I think it's a generational thing. I don't think people are going to help. So when these people die, there's just going to be lines of cars and ditches around the country, unrescued.
They're also the people putting the flags up and painting the roundabouts around here, though. So
yeah, that's true.
Every cloud. We'll have to get ourselves out of ditches, but the racism will be gone.
If I wasn't white, I'd still be there. Just now.
It's funny that you said whenever I get stuck, because you live in an area where it's not an uncommon event.
Yeah,
that's horrible. Yeah, I haven't been stuck, touch wood, since I got my my new automatic electric car, so I don't actually know what'll happen in that scenario.
Yeah.
I got stuck. Was it last year? I think it was last year. I got stuck, and cars were like sliding back down this hill, and we were all just kind of stuck together. It was absolutely horrendous. And I think did I call Rach and was like, I don't think I'm going to get home.
I remember you telling us about this.
Yeah. I don't know how I managed it in the end. That was awful. That's my fault for staying at Ashes too late playing Pro Evo, probably driving home in the snow.
Yeah, and then I think I followed that very good story up with the time me and my friend were in the States doing a little road trip up and down the East Coast, and we got caught in a thunderstorm, and I've never seen a thunderstorm like it. The window wipers were on full bifta, and it made no difference. You just couldn't see out the front of the car whatsoever. So, yeah,
I've only ever had that in Glasgow. Scotland, yeah.
Fun driving in the weather. Back improving?
No. It's fine with the painkillers that I'm starting to worry I may get addicted to. I probably won't, but they do keep saying, "Oh, they're addictive." So be careful.
Did they give you any sort of buzz?
No.
I don't know how you would get addicted.
They just make me sleepy. Because I'm tired.
Yeah, okay. Because I remember, like, for a period of time, obviously, because I was unwell for a while, I had to take steroids. I fully understand how people can get addicted to steroids because they make you feel amazing. Especially the ones I had.
Oh, right, okay. No, these don't make me feel amazing. They just make it hurt a bit less to walk around. But I could still only take the dog for a walk for like 15 minutes a day before I'd be like, look, sorry, mate, I'm done. I can't handle anymore.
We are going to be a good pair because I've hurt my back as well. I've not been able to exercise this week. So,
we're going to be. I'm so glad because I was. As I was walking Cola today, really slowly, feeling sorry for myself, I thought, I really hope I don't just slow David down for the whole weekend. Just being a cripple. Can you say cripple anymore?
Don't know. We'll make it to our video game haunts. We'll do that, and then if your back gets sore, we'll just play the Retroid. I'm happy doing that. We're just out to hang out and talk about and play video games.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah,
no pressure.
I'm not going to. I wouldn't miss this for the world. So I'll grin and bear it.
But that's in 2 days' time. Alex, do you want to tell the wonderful listeners? Well, some of them are wonderful, some of them are arseholes. What we are going to be talking about today? If they didn't bother to read the title.
That's not singling anybody out. It's just statistical. Statistically,
yeah.
Some of you are arseholes. It could be you listening right now, or you might be the arsehole.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're aware that you're the arsehole, like I am most of the time, there's a comfort in that.
Maybe that's it.
Well done for that.
One absolute arsehole listening to this. The one arsehole, are you it? I guess is the question you need to ask yourself.
Yeah. If I see a post on Reddit /AMITH or whatever it is, TA, am I the arsehole? A podcast I listened to just said I might be the arsehole of their podcast listenership. Am I? We need examples of why. But yes, for those of you and that arsehole who, what we're going to do today is, because it is I believe the 24th of November on this Monday you are listening to this, but not when we're recording it, obviously.
Well, we'll have been to Doncaster by then. We'll be home and hosed by time.
We'll have come back. Yeah. I'll be filling these shelves with bullshit. So you'll be able to see it all next time. Not actually next podcast, because Peek Behind the Curtain, we've already recorded that. We've gone out of order. So the one after that, you can have a look on the video if you check us out on YouTube. But yeah, today is the 25th anniversary of the PlayStation launch in Europe, which is where we live. If you couldn't have guessed. So what we're going to do is, in the old A Winner Is You style, which was a style that we copied from everybody on the internet, we're going to do a tier list of all the launch titles that came out, except for one of them, and I can't remember what it is, but let's find out what that is.
Orphan Scion of Sorcery.
Yeah, because that's an RPG.
I did play. I played it for an hour.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, just so that I could at least... You know what? It's a bit like that game that I've asked you, that I keep saying. What's that other... That Switch game that's not a Switch game, Shining Force 2, that... we don't want to... Just for some completeness' sake... Can't speak on it deeply, but I can talk about the general mechanics, some of the character stuff, and a little bit about the story.
Oh, well, fair play to you, mate. Fair play to you. So outside of that, the other launch titles that came out on November 24th, 2000 are Aqua, Dynasty Warriors 2, Fantavision, FIFA 2001, Gradius 3 and 4, International Superstar Soccer, NHL 2001, Ready to Rumble Boxing Round 2, Ridge Racer 5, Silent Scope, Smuggler's Run, SSX, Tekken Tag Tournament, TimeSplitters, and Wild Wil Racing. We're going to put all of those in a tier list, and to stop us being up all night bloody long, we'll have to try and limit ourselves to not massive amounts of chat per game. At least the shit ones aren't going to get a lot anyway, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But every single one of those is getting our judgment, and I have a feeling there won't be too much arguing around the rankings. Of course, they are D to S, S being the best, D being the worst. I think I actually came up with quite a rounded tier list. I've got some S's, I've got some A's.
What does it go? A, B, C, D?
B's. It goes D, C, B, A, S. S is the top.
Okay.
Do you want me to share that? Can I share this thing with you?
It's all right. I've written S, A, B, C, D on a spreadsheet, and I'll copy as we go. And then, but yeah, remember and send me the link so that I can include it in the video version.
Yes, I will. So I guess we should start then, shouldn't we? With
yes.
Aqua.
Do you have an order that we're going
Aqua.
to be running? Aqua,
Let's do alphabetical. Have you written your notes non-alphabetically? You're going to have to scramble around through it. Okay.
Aqua is a truly terrible game.
I hate it. I couldn't even do the tutorial the first time. Like the first part of the tutorial, the first time I played this, when it asks you to build a perimeter and then drop some water in it,
yep.
The controls are so loose and so floaty.
That's the problem, right? Is that they're so loose. See if they fixed the view now angle and made the controls sort of grid based, a bit like a Tetris-ish type thing.
Yeah,
it would be competent.
Why can I fling my?
But it would be competent.
Yeah. Why can I fling my piece of dirt outside of the square?
And there's no snapping either. So constantly,
there's no snapping.
Like leaving little. So basically, for those that haven't played this game, you have to create.
Yeah, I should have explained that.
You get like almost Tetris shaped blocks or mounds of dirt, and you have to create different sizes of, I don't know, valleys, like bowls, and then dump water in it, and then melt, and then evaporate the water with fire. And the pieces don't snap together. So very often you're like, oh, I've made a box, and then the water just runs out the side because there's a tiny little gap that you've left.
Yep.
It's terrible.
Yep.
It's terrible.
Yeah. You can't really tell for some angles whether that's touching the bit or not, because you can't turn the camera around and it's in a square, like an isometric angle. So you can't have a look round from another angle to check that. I managed to get through more of the tutorial, but I didn't finish the tutorial because, again, it got too difficult for me to figure out what I was doing. So I think the D-pad is slower than the analog stick, but there wasn't a happy medium, really. It was either you use the analog stick and it like flings these mounds of dirt, like I say, outside of the square that you're supposed to be putting them in, which is so pointless. At least like block me from going outside of it, or the D-pad, which is really, really slow. But I can't think of a less interesting premise for a video game. Making mounds to catch water in it.
The only thing I could think of, was the water physics like ahead of its like good for its time, and were they just trying to show that off? I don't know.
Hey, look, we can like do sort of vectors now and polygon mounds of dirt. It's like, yes, you can, but should you?
It's got a predecessor which is Wetrix. Is that equally as terrible?
I don't know. I still haven't played it. You bought me that one Christmas box for my N64
I just
collection.
Thought it was,
I don't know if you ever thought I was going to play it, but yeah.
No, I just thought it's an N64 game you don't have, and here's one that's boxed, so it might be a fun one to own, even if you don't play it.
It's beautiful conditioned box. I'm not going to rush to play that if it's in anything like this one, because
it's got 79
this is dog shit. What? 79. Aqua?
Yeah.
Whoa. 79 for the dirt and the water game.
I have no bones. This is a D tier for me.
D tier, easy. All ends up.
I was going to ask you, is when we're tiering this, is this so? Let's say it makes no difference for this game. It's going to be D tier, whatever. But so if we want to put something in S tier, is it S tier within this group of games, or is it S tier just an S tier game?
Oh, I would say it's always best to keep it relative, would be my answer to that.
Okay.
I just dropped my chair down and then absolutely sank to the floor.
Yeah.
So
you didn't just get smaller.
Better. Yeah. I sank into, I don't know, a mound of dirt because the water trickled out or whatever. Honestly, mate, the first time I played it, the amount of times I failed that tutorial, I could not, but it was like 10 times, just could not get it to stop saying I'd failed. And I thought, I can't even get past part 1 of a 10-part tutorial. This isn't going to get done.
It's so dull.
I'd never finished the tutorial. So boring. How is that going to get any more exciting?
I will say, though, it's not the worst tutorial in this selection of games.
There were more tutorials?
Yeah, there's another game that's got a tutorial in it that was just some man in like a corporate Nintendo type voice just reading the rules off a piece of paper to you, basically.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. That one at least was good, though. I mean, it's quite. It went very, very slowly.
He kept stopping. I was like, "Is he done?" And then he just started again. Like, there's no way of making this speed up in any way. I've just got to sit through this if I want to.
Yeah. But that's coming up after the next game, which is Dynasty Warriors 2. This is the first Dynasty Warriors game that is in the 1 versus 1,000 hack and slash style that we all know the series for, that we all recognise. So Dynasty Warriors, we all know it's 1 versus 1,000. It's a hack and slash game. Yes. Dynasty Warriors 1 is not one of those. It is a one-on-one fighter in the vein of Soul Calibur. So this Dynasty Warriors 2 is technically really Dynasty Warriors 1 for all intents and purposes. And I think as a result of that, you can really see that it's just a series getting its idea out there onto a physical medium. An idea that inspired many games since, not just more Dynasty Warriors games, especially the control system with the square light attack, triangle heavy attack, B special move, L1 block. That's in so many games since then. I've played quite a lot of Dynasty Warriors games in my time, even the one that came out this year, which is excellent. This is very much the first one. It is very clunky. It's quite slow. It's very, very difficult. Typically in a Dynasty Warriors game, you will have what they call peons that are, there's thousands of them running about the map. In later, more recent Dynasty Warriors games, they basically will do absolutely nothing. I think in Hyrule Warriors, which was probably the first one I ever played, they basically don't ever attack. They're just useless. They're just there in the way. In the first Dynasty Warriors, Dynasty Warriors 2 and 3, because I played 3 to see how much of an improvement it was after this. They are really aggressive. They hit hard. They have too much health. The map is also massive in this game. They're not that big in later ones. So I was finding that I think I did 2 battles. I failed the second one, which was like something about the Lao Gate or something, where you have to go and fight Dong Zhuo after he turns on the alliance that you've built up. This is all explained better in later games. They do seem to just continuously take the Romance of the Three Kingdoms Chinese story novel and just retell that story basically over and over again in all these games. Later games have allowed you to sort of like change what happens, sort of a theoretical, what happens if this guy didn't actually die or whatever. But this one is following that story, but there is basically no story. There's no voice acting. So it's kind of, you don't understand. If you don't know the story, it seems incredibly random. So I failed that second fight. But I was finding that the first one and that one were taking me about like 30 to 40 minutes per battle, which is crazy. It's crazy long. It's crazy long for a game that is repetitive in a comfortable way if you enjoy that kind of thing, the sort of Muso smashing the shit out of thousands of dudes for 10-15 minutes and running to different bases and stuff. This doesn't have the base stuff in it, but as a result, this one's not that enjoyable. How much of it did you play?
I'll tell you what, I maybe had a different experience to this game with you. I think I've played, and we discovered last week when I thought I had played a Dynasty Warriors game on Dreamcast, only for you to tell me there is no Dynasty Warriors game on Dreamcast. So I up to this point, I had played one Dynasty Warriors game, and I don't know which one it was or what console it was, but I remember having a lovely old, I remember coming away from that experience and my sort of running experience of these Dynasty Warriors games up to having played this game was that you just sort of run about, smash stuff, and then do it again over and over again. And that it's sort of one of these games that, and I'm not too big to say that I don't have it in me to just have these sort of monotonous games that you turn your brain off and play, but I find myself quite pleasantly surprised that there's more to these games than I thought there was. I.e., it attempts to replicate the flow of a battle.
I think it does it really impressively for a launch PS2 game. Like, you can just kind of sit there and watch the battle sort of take place around you and check out the map, and like, there's a lot of AI doing a lot of stuff, just never when they're anywhere near you. I found, like, because this game is so hard, if you went and took on an officer on your own, you would basically just get melted. But it just, you'd run back and see your officers just standing around doing nothing. It's like,
I found
come
people
with
standing
me,
around not doing things, and I was like, obviously knew I had to like open gates, and I couldn't really work out how to open the gates and things like that. So I found myself confused, but also sort of pleasantly surprised that your role in that is to basically run around the different sort of pockets of battle that are going on in this field and try and turn the tide in different ways. And it gives you updates. The thing I was struggling with, it would be like, it would give me a name and say the blah blah blah's morale is falling, or blah blah blah, and I'd be like, I don't know who that is or where they are, so they're on their own.
It would sort of flash a circle on the map somewhere, but it's like miles away. Because I found the easiest one for this was to pause it and look at the pause game map and just kind of find the icons for the enemy generals,
and then go that direction.
Or there sometimes they'd have like a little arrow which shows you where a gate is, and if you went over to those and killed the gate captain, that would stop the reinforcements of them coming through that area, which would then allow your dudes to.
Okay.
But even as somebody who's played a lot of Dynasty Warriors, I would found this very confusing to know what I was supposed to be doing, because it's so, nascent stages of what they're trying to do. They've improved on it so many times. It generally seems to be thought of that like 4 and 5, which are still on the PS2, but they're the peak that a lot of people think of this series. And then there's 8 and the most recent one, the Origins, that came out as well. It's like the top tier stuff, but this is quite far away from that. But I thought it would be worse than it actually is. Okay. I think it's still pretty competent.
Yeah, for me, I came away thinking this was fine, and actually it gave me an interest in playing more Dynasty Warriors games. I kind of came away thinking this is not the Dynasty Warriors game I want to be investing time into, but I can see an idea here that I'm interested in poking out a bit further. I'd say it's a competent game without blowing anyone's socks off. It's got a 75 on Metacritic, which means it's worse than Aqua according to Metacritic.
It's not in our tier list, I'm imagining, but
no.
I think like I said, for a launch game, it is impressive. I mean, it's kind of ugly if you actually take a step back and look at some of the environments and stuff, and they love using fog to mask basically everything going on around you.
That was a thing, wasn't it? I mean, that only became, think of other games that came out in the PS2 during that era. It was rife with fog. I mean, Silent Hill 2, one that we've recently played, the GTA games had fog.
GTA games,
It's just a way to hide.
And this has obviously got a lot of stuff to hide.
Yeah.
And it runs well. Mm-hmm. So fair play to them. They got, a lot of dudes on screen running about, and it got it running at a stable 60 on the emulator I used, which could not be said for everything that we play here today.
I enjoyed this game, even if I think what I took away from it was that I need to play other Dynasty Warriors games.
You do. The most recent one should be the one you play, because it's basically the first
on modern consoles, is it?
PS5. Yeah, it came out this year. It's really good.
What's it called?
Dynasty Warriors Origins. So it basically tells us. So in this game, it seems as if like the single player, the Muso mode, it's just like you pick a guy and then you just do the battles from the Three Kingdoms story. Later games, you would do like you would have they'd have separate campaigns for the different like kingdoms and the different like houses within that you play through, and you'd have like, I'm going to do the this family, and then I'm going to do that family, and then whatever. In the most recent one, you basically just play a guy, like a nameless additional character who's wandering around, and you get to choose who you want to side with and stuff. So the story kind of happens around your guy.
It's playable on Steam Deck.
Oh, that'd be impressive to see that on Steam Deck, because again, there's a lot of blokes. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's truly excellent, that game. This one, for me, B tier.
I'm happy with that. Yeah, like I said, I'll maybe never play this game again, but as a statement of intent, let's say, I think it's great.
Agreed. Yeah, exactly. Have you tiered them all before now? Had you got them ready? Have you pre-tiered them yourself?
No, I find that find it easier to not do that for me.
Okay. I've tiered them all already, so when I say what tier it is, I'm telling you what's already written.
Yeah, the reason I've not tiered it is I think often our conversation might change how I feel about a game. Because, like, for example, like Dynasty Warriors, I am interested to hear how much of a change the series goes through. So, because the game I remember playing, I was on a horse and I was just rampaging through people. So I don't know what game it is I played, because that was
you can
not
actually get on horses in that, but it's quite difficult.
I also find when I was playing, just to sort of finish off Dynasty Warriors 2, sometimes I couldn't tell if someone was an enemy or not. Like, I was sure that I was being attacked by a man on horseback. Like, he was following me around trying to attack me, but I could not hit him. So I was like, is he on my
head
team?
In.
Is he on my team?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You had to do like a jumping attack to get those guys, but it was really difficult to nail those. Yeah, that wound me up as well. I don't think you can hurt your own guys, at least. So it's fine to just run in and wail on everybody and see if they get hurt or not.
But yeah, for me, B's probably where it sits. I mean, D is garbage tier for me. C is not great, but not garbage.
It's like it has not a lot to it.
Good. This is good, but it's not going to be. It's not changed my life in any way.
No. Unless we go to Doncaster and you go out and buy a bunch of old Dynasty Warriors games.
It might happen. I might put a couple of Dynasty Warriors games in my Retroid for coming down on the train.
Yeah, 4 and 5.
I'm going to load it up with a bunch of different games, like probably mostly PS2 games, because that's the kind of train I'm on at the moment for coming down the road.
Yeah, I saw you playing your old classic. What's it called?
Prisoner of War.
Yeah. I was so pleased to see that.
It's your fault. You've actually inspired me, but we'll come to that at the end.
Okay. We'll come to that after we talk about the game we've alluded to earlier with the boring man reading out some sort of PowerPoint presentation in Fantavision, a game that, sadly for me, shit the bed.
That's such a shame, because it's kind of fun.
So I was just,
in its own way.
Yeah, it was just getting, like, the background is obviously what they've tried to put the grunt behind to show off that they're on a PS2, because otherwise this game is just could have been on anything. Mm-hmm. But the backgrounds after a while just ended up being like completely glitched out, and it was just unplayable, which is a real shame, because I would have carried on playing it, because I think this is really a really clever and unique take on sort of a match 3 game. There's a lot to it. There's lots of combos you can do, and trying to make like the sparkle. So again, we should probably explain what it is for those who don't know. Fantavision is a game where you have to kind of, there are fireworks sort of launching into the air. You have to move a cursor around using the analog stick, selecting the fireworks of a certain color, and then once you've got 3 of that color or more, you press a button to set them off. Sometimes they trail what do you call it? Like the debris, I guess, that comes out of the firework will then explode others of the set of that color if they're coming up the screen and get caught in it. Or you can sort of chain different colors together. There's different like special fireworks. There's bonus little games you can play if you get enough of the. What's the word you have to get?
The word.
Didn't you have to spell a word out or something? Starlinks or something? I can't remember what it was now. What
was it?
You have to like collect letters, and then if you get all the letters, it kind of takes you to like a little bonus.
Yeah, you're
thing.
right. You're right, because pass. I'm blanking.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I felt this game was pretty, like, it's completely unique, pretty easy to grasp. But it did feel like it'd be tricky to get really good at. I found myself, I think it was only in like the second level, I found myself failing without really understanding how.
Yep, I did too.
I don't actually know what the fail state for this game actually is. Is there a time scale or an amount you have to miss? I just couldn't figure out why I was losing.
It was sort of similar to you. I think it was missing. So when a firework gets to its apex, it'll sit there for a little bit, and if you don't catch it with a combo quick enough, it'll, I don't know, like Guitar Hero missed key you, I guess.
Like all the Tetris blocks filling up, I guess, isn't it? Sort of thing, yeah.
This one's got a Metacritic of 72. So according to Metacritic, it's the worst game that we've played so far. My feeling for this was that, it's a really cool game. It's quite a unique idea. I can't actually think of many other games that I've played, at least, that follow a similar pattern. And as I was playing sorry, carry on.
And that's the difference, right? Here's the difference. What's exciting for a unique idea in a puzzle game? Is it mounds of dirt and water, or is it fireworks? It's the latter, boys. It's not mounds of dirt.
Personal preference, I felt that the music was mostly quite weak, and I think the music in the game, like, if it had some better music, a la latter day Luminous or Tetris Effect style music, I think that would have really elevated the game in a way that,
I honestly can't remember it. It's obviously that unremarkable.
I was thinking while I was playing it, I've said this several times on this podcast, but I have got such a soft spot to the point that I genuinely would like have art. If I could find some good art of it that I could buy, the only way I can think to describe it is like Streets of Rage, background city.
The old Sega cityscapes,
yeah. And for me, the Fantavision is sort of that in the PS2 era. There's some lovely like nighttime cityscapes.
Yeah. And, little airport, little plane pulling in.
And I just there was one I can't even remember what the game was, but I was looking up old games before, and it was like watching it was like a flight sim on the Amiga. And it was like landing in New York at night, and it was all just vector graphics. And I was just like, this is stunning. And it's just lines, colored lines. I suppose that's what people think about Res, isn't it?
Yeah.
Res, for me, like, I'm looking at pictures of it just now, and I just think it's amazing. So I'm just imagining like it's like slightly more 3D Streets of Rage cityscapes with fireworks going off in the background. And I think there are moments, so I think initially the game's quite hard to play, and I wonder if that would turn a lot of people off, especially now that we're living in an era. I know they've sort of rezzed it up and it's on Steam now, but if you're playing this, chances are you're probably playing it on an emulator, or you've got a copy of the old PS2.
It's on Steam, is it?
Yeah, they did a remaster of it a couple of years ago, and I wonder if they sort of pick up, and if you're just doing emulators and you're picking games up and trying them out, you might not stick with this one. I suspect this is one that becomes extremely satisfying when you can start looping things together. Like you were saying, that sometimes like you get different combos, so you can like jump colors. That I think is quite a fun. So like, sometimes you'll set off a firework and it'll have another bunch of comboable colors that will come out of that, so you can like combo your combos, and then you can use that to leap off into different colors, and you get white ones that then let you choose whatever color you want for the next one. And I think if you get really good at the game, it can be quite satisfying. This is a cool game that has a nice fresh idea that I enjoyed my time with and would like to play more of. If you're saying, is it going to be, is it one of the best games of all time? Absolutely not. It's fine, and it's a great fun little time. And I think it for me, visually, it hits just the end of that era. It just really floats my boat. I think if it had more realistic graphics, it wouldn't quite have the same effect for me.
Yeah, it's a classic like early 2000s weird game that we don't get enough of. Well, certainly not like Sony. Sony made this. Like they would never do that now.
That's it. I think we've spoken about this a couple of times, but like the Sony PS1, PS2, and for a good chunk of the PS3 era were such an exciting company, and they just did things that no other console manufacturer would do, and they took risks on things, and they've got just like and there's like a plethora of like weird games that they've done over the years that I don't think anyone other than Sony would do. And this is one of them. They'll just take a punt on something mental.
I can't believe they released it for PS5 in 2023. That's mad. That is mad. I had this at B tier. I don't know how you feel about that. I mean, if we're ranking within the B tier, I would have it above Dynasty Warriors, but I don't know if it's quite A tier considering what I think some of the A tier games actually are.
So I
don't know how much legs this would have if it didn't shit the bed on me. I don't know how much more, how long I would have played it, because I was certainly enjoying it for a while, but it felt like it might get a bit hard and frustrating.
I think that's it, and I think that is kind of why I said before. I think to probably properly appreciate this game, you have to be willing to fail and stick with it a little bit longer. And my worry is that in sort of today's gaming environment, there aren't many people that are willing to sort of give this game the time and space that it needs for you to properly appreciate what it does, myself included, to be completely honest with you. When I was looking at this, I was thinking B. If you had said B or C, I wouldn't have argued. I do think it's better than a C, but
yes,
I probably wouldn't have fought you if you had said C. So yeah, I'm happy with B. Certainly not an A, and it's absolutely not an S.
No, it's definitely not an S. Okay, FIFA 2001. Speaking of games that are definitely not an S, how did you find this?
I tell you what, again, I suspect this is going to be a game that I had more fun with than you. It's quite difficult to talk about this game without also talking about International Superstar Soccer. Which
that's alphabetically next up, so let's do it.
So I'm going to give you... So my takeaway of playing both of these games, one after the other, was that if you want a game that you can just pick up and play and feel like you are contributing and doing stuff and you can understand what you're doing immediately, FIFA 2001 is a better game than International Superstar Soccer. If you want a game that better represents the ebb and flow of a game of football and better represents, in many ways, I would say this game is like International Superstar Soccer is ahead of its time in terms of like your ability to do things like move the ball around. Like I found that the passing in FIFA 2001 was much easier to do, so I could instantly pick up the controller and pass right away. International Superstar Soccer took me a minute to figure out how to pass, but once I've figured out how to pass, the passing flowed much more fluidly than it did in 2001, FIFA 2001. So my sort of general takeaway of this is that International Superstar Soccer represents, for its time, and is in some ways like, even like, I couldn't figure out, for example, like, this is an example, and this might just be a David problem. I couldn't figure out how to do a through ball in FIFA 2001, whereas International Superstar Soccer, I instantly knew how to do it, and I was sort of running on to balls in a way, whereas I felt like every time I wanted to pass the ball in FIFA, my player was stopping, and it was a very juddery version of a football game, whereas when you nail ISS, it flowed nicer than it did. But often, it didn't flow as nicely because I was just not as good at the game, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
So that was my takeaway. I liked them both. FIFA 2001 was awesome because I was scoring overhead kicks in my first game, and I was like blasting it in. I was just like, I know how to play this. I was running down the wing. ISS, I had to stop and start and go back and figure out the controls. And once I sort of felt like I knew what I was doing, I think ultimately it's probably a better football game. But initially, just when you pick up a controller, FIFA is much more easy to understand and go. Now tell me why I'm wrong.
Well, I think if I start with FIFA, I would say it looks nice. It has great level of authenticity, really good commentary, like accurate as well. I found the controls a bit strange. Tapping triangle to sprint was bizarre.
It took me a minute, but then I was like, "Oh, I remember that was how you did it back in the day."
Yeah, me too.
I had a bit of a nostalgia for that, to be honest.
Well, this is, of course, the game that had the scratch and sniff disc.
Oh, it?
It would smell like grass. Yeah, it's got the one Paul Scholes on the front in his England kit. And I think I had the scratches. I think I had this on the PS1 rather than on the PS2. I think FIFA feels really sticky, and it's kind of in a good way, but it feels very scripted. It feels like everything is assisted to make you better at the game. Like the ball sticks to the players, the crosses would float to the man every single time. Sprinting past players, really, really easy.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel, as you said already, it doesn't feel like it's as pure of a football game as ISS. But I think it does have its merits as like an arcadey feeling game that has the authenticity.
I streamed it, and I remember as I was streaming it, I actually think I say in the stream, I suspect I'm having more fun. And this was based on nothing, but I was like, I'm having fun with this. I wonder if, or I suspect I'm having more fun with this than Alex is maybe having. Because I was like, this is a good game. I'm having a fine time with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
Bearing in mind where it was. Like, I'm not saying that today it's a great football game. I think it was totally okay. Or 2000, sorry.
Yeah, I was initially like all ready to like take FIFA a C tier, ISS B tier, but then I kind of went back to ISS again, and this was partly sort of prompted by doing a bit of research into what the ISS was at that point in time, which I believe I will mention on the next episode as well, that I mentioned in the past for David and I, because we're going out of order with our recording. This was obviously part of the ISS series that was developed by Konami Computer Entertainment Osaka. They were focused on more arcadey style gameplay, and then that was going up against the more simulation style that Konami Tokyo were doing with their Pro Evolution series. So a few years before this, ISS Pro Evolution, which was actually the third game in that sort of sub-series of the games after ISS Pro and ISS Pro 98. ISS Pro Evolution would then go on to become Pro Evolution Soccer, whereas ISS, it's just on its own, would kind of carry on for a bit and then die off.
Okay.
And the ISS on the PS2 felt almost exactly like the N64 games, the ISS 64, 98, 2000. The passing I found really difficult.
I found it really hard. Yeah.
A tap of the button, they would absolutely hoon it at some poor bastard, and I didn't understand what was going. I tried different controllers. I thought, am I doing something wrong? Like, it was really weird. And I just think, considering that we've had ISS Pro Evolution by this point a couple of years ago on the PS1, which is so much better than this. Like, ISS Pro Evolution genuinely was the evolution of football games and took us into the sort of golden era. If you pick that up now, that the things that you said about ISS are even more applicable to ISS Pro Evolution on the PS1. This really does kind of strike me as like a game in a style and by a developer who are falling behind where football games are going. FIFA have got their own level of authenticity. They've got the kits, the players, the commentary, the presentation, the graphics. FIFA have got all of that, and they will continue to use that forevermore. ISS at this point for me has been overtaken by a game that came out before it on a weaker console, and I found like the crossing was really inaccurate. The shooting was just felt like it was always going over or straight at the keeper. The only way I could score, again, kind of like the N64 version, was just get a rebound, shoot, keeper saves it, press the B button, the shoot button again, rebound it. And I played this a couple more times, and I really started to dislike it the more I played it, because I felt like I'd played it on the N64 years before. It was fun then, but by this point, ISS Pro is so much better than this that this is a definite C tier for me. Like, it's not terrible, it's fine. I was surprised to see it had like actual licensed teams and players for an ISS game. I thought that was absolutely mental.
First installment in the series to feature fully licensed teams, all teams that competed in the UEFA Euro 2000 tournament alongside many others.
Of course. I think one of them I saw, some of them weren't because the countries didn't let them. I think Netherlands is made up, and maybe somebody else. So if I was to pick a more enjoyable of the two, I would say FIFA 2001 is more enjoyable, but neither of them are anywhere near the ISS Pro Evo.
So the last match I played of ISS, I scored a last minute winner with England against Germany, and I was out my seat running around my office. And yeah, I don't know. I do take what you say. I think as a presentation, like the package of International Superstar Soccer, or ISS, whatever it is not as good as FIFA.
It still looks nice, though.
It still looks nice. The commentary, I think, is poor. I agree with
still
that.
terrible.
I don't think the graphics are that great in comparison to FIFA.
Is it just me that, like, they have Terry? Is it Terry Butcher they've got alongside the main guy? But I'm pretty sure Terry Butcher only ever talks at half time and at the full time. I don't think he has any commentary lines during the game. I think it's just one bloke, and then at half time he's like, "Right, mate, have you got something to say about this?" Yeah, it's a close game. See more in the second half. Thanks, Terry. And that was it. Phoned it in.
Yeah, but I do take everything you say. I just felt like with the crossing and heading and stuff like that, like it was requiring a level of precision that FIFA doesn't require. Like I say, like
definitely not. FIFA will put that cross on the blind bonds every single time.
Which I mean led to some fun moments. And I don't know if this is reductive or shallow or just a fact, but there is something quite fun about. I was playing 2001 and I was able to play Manchester United as Manchester United and as Aberdeen, whereas in ISS I could be England, Scotland, like it was just international teams, and
that's in the name, right?
It does make a difference to me, right?
It does. It does. It did at the time.
It's fun being able to run down the wing with David Beckham and cross it over, or play against Tottenham with Ian Jess running through the middle of their defence.
The Alex and David Derby.
Yeah. I take what you mean. Like, I like these games. I'm going to say I think probably equally for different reasons.
Yeah, I think so. I just it's clear that EA put their money in this one into the presentation of it, rather than sort of developing, the true experience of what football matches are actually supposed to be like. But as a result of that, it's definitely more fun to play than ISS.
Well, that's kind of what I was going to say. I had more fun with FIFA. However, the goals I scored in ISS were much more satisfying, I would say.
You had to work for that shit, for sure.
I think they're both a C tier.
I really think that as well.
Oh, is that where you were going as well? Sorry, I thought you were chucking one in B. Okay.
No. I was going to put ISS in B, but the more I played it, I was like, you know what, this is a C as well. And if one of them is getting into B, it's not ISS. But I think C is absolutely bang on where they should both go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, it's actually not the next one in the alphabet. For some reason, I wrote them the wrong way around in my notes, but who cares?
I'm quite happy. Like I said, I because they're both football games, I struggled.
There was no other way to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, that's 5 down. 10 to go. Next up, Gradius 3. I'm pretty sure it's Gradius rather than Gradius 3 and 4. I hate Gradius as a series. I'm going to put that out there right now. So if you're a fan of Gradius, maybe just skip forward like 2 minutes to see if David will bring it back. I don't think he will, though. I think it's one of the most difficult, unfair shooters I have ever played. I hate how slow the base machine is. I hate crashing into the top and the bottom of the stages, which is like 90% of my deaths is just crashing by accident. I hate how stuff just comes out from nowhere to attack you all the time. And then I hate that you will die when you get really far into a level and it will just drop you to a normal slow ship again and give you like 2 upgrades for a boss and makes it almost impossible to do it. Apparently these ports are superior to the arcade versions. Incredibly underwhelming for a new console launch. I mean, Gradius 3 looks terrible. It looks like a NES game. Gradius's 4 attempts at these pseudo 3D graphics to me was quite laughably bad. Like, I know it's not a liked game. People don't like the way it looks, but it just looks horribly ugly for any era of the PS2, and of course this was the very first era of it. But I just think this is a completely pointless thing to have released on a new console. It could easily have been on the PS1. I just think it's terrible.
Oh, it could have been. I mean, Gradius 3 was in 1989.
Yeah, I mean, why do we need that for
10 years later?
PS2. Why do we need that on the PS fucking 2?
Yeah, I was really disappointed with this. As I was sort of skimming the launch lineup list, I saw this one and I was like, oh, this is going to be a fun bullet hell based on the pictures. Like I was saying this to you before we started recording, it looks like an Alex game.
Oh, a shmup, lovely. This will be right. It'll be a right good laugh.
It was. Yeah. I feel like these games are good just when they're fast and furious, and this game is slow and distinctly unfurious. Like, it's just
it makes me furious. It's boring.
I even texted you while I was playing. I was like, am I playing this wrong? Like, why am I going so slowly? No, that's just how it is. And I was like, this is like egregiously slow. So then
I think once you get the speed upgrades, it's too fast. And that's when I keep crashing into the fucking ceiling all the time.
I didn't like it. It's a D.
It's an absolute bang on D.
It's not fun. It's not interesting. I was reading about it, and they've not added anything to these games. So the 1989 game is as was basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, it feels lazy. Games are better than this.
It's like you're trying to show me that you can do a nice parallel park in a Ferrari. Like, why do you need to put it on the PS2 to show you can do a better version than a 1989 arcade game? Well done.
It sucks. It's a D.
It's terrible. Like I said, I hate all the Gradius games. I hate Parodius. I just fucking hate those games. They're the worst. For me, they're the worst shmups out there. But I know that people revere them for some reason, but I fucking hate them.
If you're making me rank it, I'm going to put it above Aqua, but I still don't like it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I can play it.
Yeah.
I can do like one level of it.
That's a win.
Yeah. Right. Let's bring the mood back up. NHL 2001
on Metacritic, by the way. And
yeah, it doesn't even deserve that.
FIFA's got an 84, but I couldn't find ISS.
Yeah, I don't think people cared.
No, seems like not.
Yeah, NHL 2001. People definitely care about this, I'm imagining. I actually think this game's pretty amazing.
This game's awesome. I had such a lovely time with this. This is funny coinciding. Me and my friend Scott are trying to watch the NHL at the moment. We've subscribed to NHL TV. We split the costs and we've been watching it.
Oh, can I get in on that? And then can you do it with more than two people?
I'll ask him. I'm piggybacking on his NFL.
Oh, okay. So I'm happy to split it 3 ways.
I'll ask him because I know.
Actually, we've both got a Fire Stick. It's probably just on that, isn't it?
It will be on that, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, get on it. Even if
are you following anybody?
So I'm trying. So when it comes to sports teams, this is where it gets. You've asked the wrong question, Alex. Because when it comes to sports teams and when it comes to sports, the only way I can get fully invested in a sport is if I can find a team to support. Now the struggle, it's easy when it's in the UK. You just pick your local team or someone connected to your local team, i.e. Alex Ferguson in Aberdeen, the connection. And Aberdeen, obviously, because I live in the northeast of Scotland. When it comes to American teams, I find that a little bit more difficult. Usually I default to New York because that was the first New York teams, because that was the first place in America that I went to. However, my favourite place that I've been to in the States is probably New Orleans. So I quite like the New Orleans Saints, for example, in the NFL, but my NFL team are probably Giants. And my NBA team probably is the Knicks or the Rockets, despite having never been to Houston whatsoever. I just liked James Harden when he played for the Rockets, so I just kind of got stuck with them. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So I'm currently in amongst trying to figure out what an NHL team I want to support. So the other thing, other than place, so going by place, I'm thinking maybe the New York Rangers. However, the other
I've seen them.
Have you? I'm so yeah. I think that's what got Scott onto. He went to a Rangers game when he was in New York recently, and he said it going to an NHL game was amazing. He said it was so fun.
Yeah, it's so different in real life to trying to follow a little puck on TV. You know, there are so many teams up near where you are, though. And I've been to see the Sheffield Steelers.
I know that Aberdeen recently won a league, but they've also just recently knocked down the ice rink, so I don't know where they play.
Well, you've got in Britain there's the Elite Ice Hockey League. So I've seen the Sheffield Steelers against the Nottingham Panthers like 3 or 4 years ago. I had a fucking brilliant time.
Okay, maybe we should
You've got Dundee and Fife and Glasgow teams all in the top tier of the hockey league in this country. Get yourself down.
Okay, I will.
Get yourself after Scum D.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, like to finish off my thought, the other thing I often do with American sports is whatever team I played American sports games when I was a kid so much, like basketball, NFL, and hockey games. So I drift often, like I kind of like the Packers as well in the NFL because I used to play as the Packers in the game. The team I used to play in the game of the NHL games is the Red Wings. So I've got 3 things for you, Alex. 3 things for you. New York Rangers, possibly, because that's the first city I went to, and I tend to default to New York teams. Red Wings, because I used to play Detroit Red Wings when I was a kid. Or there are the Utah Mammoths, who are a new team. This is their second season in existence, and I feel like if you're a new fan of the sport, they are a decent team to get in with on the ground floor. Or,
I'm very surprised you haven't jumped onto the Kraken.
The Kraken's a good name. I'm also entertained by teams that have no business being in the NHL. So, like, for example, the Florida Panthers. Have you seen how hot it is in Florida? Why have they got a good... And they've got a good...
They must just go in there to cool off.
Yeah,
that's why they must get record crowds in the middle of a heat wave.
I'm kind of entertained by the fact that I'm just like, this really hot team... It's like, why are you doing ice hockey? Why are you good at it? I don't understand this. So yeah, I've now sent us off on a different tangent, but you need to get on board on this as well. So I've got someone else to talk to about NHL because I'm having a great time with it.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get into NHL for a very, very long time. I've had a very casual interest in it. Love hockey video games. I've seen the New York Rangers. I've seen some hockey over here. If I was to support a team...
Yeah, who would you go for? And what draws you to a team? Are you the same as me? Do you need a team to support to like a sport?
Yes, absolutely. And I like to... I sort of do it the same way you did. Like if I liked playing them on a video game or just something like draws me to them, or maybe a player or something like that. I would say because it's viable in NHL, and I don't know, I'm almost like I'm whispering this here. I don't think we have that many listeners from America, but I'm currently so sickened by that country. I'm just going to pick any Canadian team that I can. So I have an Oilers jersey.
Yeah. Do you know, but the Ducks are also this is another thing. There's so many.
I've got a Mighty Ducks jersey as well. Yeah,
and there's the Penguins. There's got so many cool names.
Pittsburgh. Yeah, Kurt Angle used to wear their stuff to the ring sometimes. So the only problem I have with the Oilers is that that jersey
Where are the Oilers
that I've
from?
got, Edmonton
Oilers.
Yeah.
The Maple Leafs.
Yeah, I'm thinking it may be the Maple Leafs that I go for in the end because the Oilers, that jersey's kind of inextricably tied to Kevin Smith, who I've really gone off recently.
Oh, okay.
And I don't want to look like I'm wearing it for cover a Kevin Smith thing. So I might actually end up being...
It's quite a good jersey, though.
Super glory hunter and be like, who's won more and who's better out of the Maple Leafs and the Oilers?
Well, I will tell you.
Or the Flames.
One thing that absolutely blew my mind about the NHL is that a Canadian team hasn't won the Stanley Cup since like 1993.
That is mad.
Which is wild because I always think of hockey as being more Canadian than American, but apparently not.
Yeah.
The Maple Leafs were the last Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup, by the way.
Who's won the
Maple Leafs? Let's have a look at their jersey. I think it's just blue with a leaf on it, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. because Gretzky played for the Oilers, which was another reason I wanted to.
You might have to just
get
you
into
might
them.
just have to get over Kevin Smith and go for the Oilers because they've got a good jersey. They've got Gretzky,
Which I already have.
Yeah,
I don't know how much he did with the. I don't know how much he actually played.
So
oh no,
who is
he
he
set
good
many
with?
scoring records in 10 seasons with the Oilers and led them to 4 Stanley Cups.
Might have to be the Oilers. It's a good color combo, and the fans look cool with all their orange and the
And I do like my jersey. Although the big Oilers logo is kind of really fat and circular, so it's really hard to sit, like lean forward because it won't fold properly.
Is it embroidered? So does it just sort of sit?
Yeah. It's just like a big circle. You just like you can hear it like crunching together. There's the Montreal Canadiens as well, isn't there? I don't like their logo actually. America, if there are Americans listening, we're tearing their hair out of these fucking amateurs. Like, I don't like the way the Canadian.
I know we must sound like absolute
logo
idiots.
looks.
I didn't
little
realize
children.
There's a Vegas team.
Is there?
Yeah, which is another what I just find it funny. The Vegas Golden Knights.
I mean, the Toronto Maple Leafs, Edge has been wearing their jerseys to the ring recently, and I don't know if I like Edge anymore. God, I've got
is he
some
not good anymore?
serious reasons.
He was like one of my favorite
he's just
wrestlers. He's like if I was to make a top 5, he would be in my top 5, I think.
Oh yeah, it's just a little bit like, I'm going to come in and win some titles. I'm not going to put over the younger guys. But if I do put over the younger guys, I'm going to make it really obvious that I'm definitely doing this to put over the younger guys, kind of thing.
So Triple H then is what you're saying.
Yeah, Stanley Cups. The Maple Leafs last won the Stanley Cup in 1967.
Is it Are you sure? Maybe they're the last.
To Wikipedia.
Okay, maybe they're the last time that they've been in. Last time a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup. Oh, sorry, it was the Canadiens, the Montreal Canadiens against the Columbus Blue Jackets No, that was yesterday. Sorry. 1993 Stanley Cup final. Here we go. I knew it was 93. The LA Kings versus the Canadiens. Oh, sorry, it was the Canadiens. The Montreal
LA
Canadiens,
Kings, the old System of a Down.
They beat the Los Angeles Kings. You're right.
The Canadiens have won loads of Stanley Cups, but like old school. They've won like 24.
I honestly would have.
The Oilers have won 5, and basically all of them were Gretzky.
I would have bet my life. It was Maple Leafs. Don't know what I'm talking about. Oh well, I'm obviously most. Who did you say? Stanley Cups. Is it the Maple Leafs?
Yeah. The Canadiens have won fucking loads. They won 24. The Maple Leafs have won 13.
Wow.
Let's have a look. We have gone way off here.
Yeah, so I'm just assuming there's going to be heavy editing, but I'm enjoying it, so fuck it.
The Montreal Canadiens have won the most Stanley Cups of all
They've
time.
won the most because I initially found.
The Maple Leafs are actually second.
Initially found Wikipedia confusing because it showed me Stanley Cup appearances over wins. But it's the Challenge Cup era, Stanley Cup era. Here we go. Yeah, the Canadiens, they've made 35 appearances and they've won it 24 times. The Red Wings have made 24 appearances and won it 11. Oh my God, the Canadiens have won it like head
almost
and
twice
shoulders.
as many as anyone else, yeah.
And they won it in 93, because that's what confused me, because if you look at their seasons, they made the final in 2021, but they didn't win. Don't know who. And in 2021, they lost to Tampa Bay Lightning. The San Jose Sharks have won it.
It's a fucking great team name.
So, there's a few teams that are not. The Canucks have never won it. I thought they would have won it. I feel like they're like quite a famous team. Sabres never won it. Nashville Predators never won it. Ottawa Senators have never won it.
Ottawa's Canada as well, isn't it?
Yes. I don't see the Mammoths anywhere. but they've never won. They've never won it because they've only been going two. This is their second season.
I was going to say, yeah,
but I don't see them in the list. New York Rangers have made 11 appearances and won it 4.
You know what? I might have the Oilers and the Maple Leafs, both of them, because they're in different conferences. So I'll just have a Western Conference and an Eastern Conference team.
Good shout. Good shout.
Stick in it. Go Canada.
Hey, have we got? There must be. I've been writing down the teams I've been trying to follow. Well, the Red Wings are playing the Blue Jackets at 6 p.m. on Saturday, and the Mammoth. Well, that's a 2 a.m. game. We're playing the Rangers.
So okay, I take it this has all on-demand stuff, so you can just go back and watch.
Yeah, we can watch out. Yeah, we can go back and I'll take my laptop down. We can if we want.
Oh yeah, we'll watch some hockey. Hell yeah. Or I'll just bring my. No, I can't bring the Fire Stick because Rachel will need it. I'm taking the TV. Bye. Right.
FIFA 2001. I've gone too far back. I rewound the tape too far, Alex.
I remembered we had loads of fun playing. I think it was one of the NHL 2K games.
Yeah, it was. Was it on Dreamcast? I want to say in Glasgow. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought to myself like, when I first played it, I was like, something doesn't feel as good as the NHL 2K games are on the Dreamcast. So I'm going to go play that and then come back to this because I think I played it, and in my first game, I think it must have put me on the lowest difficulty by default, and I won like 7-1. I was like, oh my god, this is what is happening here. I'm a man who has had a published review of NHL 94 completely bitching about how hard it is to play that game and score goals and how shit I am at it. I am suddenly amazing at this game. So I went and played the Dreamcast one, and the Dreamcast one just felt a bit slower.
Oh, did it?
A bit more difficult. I wasn't scoring as many goals. So then I went back to NHL 2001, upped the difficulty to rookie. And I was like 4-0 up in the first period. I was like, all right, okay, let's up it again to pro. And I scored in the first 10 seconds, but I won 5-4 in the end, and I had a fucking blast.
Oh, good.
This is way more fun than the 2K games. I think the 2K games probably get a little bit better towards the PS2 ones, but they are still great. But I couldn't actually believe how much I ended up enjoying this. I found it really responsive, really easy to get to grips with. The controls are kind of set up to make you good at the game. I found it really easy to score. As I said, like doing one-timers was really easy. They actually worked. I deked the keeper and sent him the wrong way and almost went round him. Like slap shots were flying in. It was just like a game of highlights, like hockey highlight game. Smashing dudes around. The fighting is hilariously utterly terrible, but really funny. It's like almost like double speed punching, and that's all you can do. I thought that the worst thing about the game was probably the player models. They look like, I mean, I'm not saying, I don't want to be prejudiced here and say all hockey players look the same, but they do in NHL 2001 because I almost said it's the same character model on every fucking player's face. But I'm really impressed how much they nailed this on a first attempt on a new hardware. Apparently, the PC version is even better.
Yeah, it's got the PC version's got a 90 on Metacritic. The PlayStation PS1 version is an 88, and the PS2 version's got an 85.
Yeah, I think the only negative other than the player models is the loading times, which seem to just take
loading times are quite a lot. Quite slow, yeah.
But I had like an incredible time with this game. I love hockey games already anyway, so I have good times with most of them, but this felt like especially good fun. I'm sure you're probably going to be somewhere near the same with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, and we speak about this quite often, and to be honest, I often struggle to get it into words, so I maybe don't always explain it in the right way, but there's a certain era of sports game that sort of straddles realism with like arcade fun, and you did a great job there when you were talking about how it felt like a hockey highlight reel. Like it felt like that, and so like for me, like it's really fun because it's responsive. You're flinging immediately moving the puck around really quickly. It's easy to do spins and dekes and takes like different types of shots, and be able to pass and but then also when there's like a break in play, you can just like sprint about, smashing triangle, like knocking people over and hitting people over. And I just think there's that sort of nice balance between like authenticity, that you feel like you're playing hockey, and fun. They're putting fun above authenticity, but they try and make it look nicely. And then there are little bits where it just lets you go silly, like running about whenever there's a stop and play, knocking people over, and it's that. I just used to love that. And then like you like will rile up the other team, so like knock someone over, and then you're like skating away, and they've got like 4 people chasing after you. It's just kind of funny. I just think this is an excellent game, and you're right. It's. I feel like sports games, it's very, especially like when we're talking like WWE games, for example. Like sports games in general would always be very, and again, I mentioned WWE because they're the worst offenders of this, in that like you would have a new console launch traditionally, and then they would spend the generation like building up features, building up different things to make this complete package, and then they would launch a new console, and then they would just wipe it all back. So I think like you made a good point in that like they've launched on the PS2 and it's instantly good, and that during this era was not a given, which I think
it's got depth as well. It's got, you know, I mean, it's largely the same in every hockey game, but you've got the season, you've got the playoffs, you've got tournaments, you've got shootout modes. Like it's got content. Yeah, so they've certainly not dropped anything in the transition to the new hardware.
We spoke about football games before, and I said FIFA was the best for pick up and play, and I know you didn't agree necessarily, but ISS was a game that rewarded you if you were prepared to sit and learn the game. I think this sits nicely between the two, in that you can immediately play, you can immediately compete, and you can immediately do stuff, but you can also tell there's a lot of room here for making yourself better at the game and understanding. And this one helped immensely. It sort of continues the run for sports that you don't necessarily get lots of access to in the UK. So like American sports, so NHL, NBA, NFL. These games are great for helping you understand tactics and rules. And I genuinely, I'm not just saying this because we started playing this game, it made me realise things that I've been watching hockey recently, and it made me realise things that I didn't realise at the time. I didn't realise that, like, for example, they had attacking teams and defending teams, that they would
like lineups.
Lineups. And so I started realising that as I was playing, and I think it does say a lot for a game that you can sort of improve your understanding of real life tactics by playing the video game version. Back in the year 2000.
I wouldn't know shit about the NFL if I hadn't played Madden games back as a kid.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
I love this game.
I still wouldn't know what icing is. I remember when we were playing, it must have been one of the NHL games, like a more recent one, or maybe on the 360 or the PS4 or something, and me and my friend, and we had to actually look up what offside in hockey was, because I was like, this is not like football. I don't understand what it is. NHL 2001 by default seems to have all of those things turned off. I don't think I got any penalties for anything other than maybe once I did some roughing or something. Oh yeah, which I'm pretty sure was just me twatting a guy who was nowhere near the puck.
You probably roughing the keeper is what I remember always happening.
Oh yeah, it could be that.
When he's got the puck, you just sort of harry him, just get up in his face.
Because otherwise they just hold on to it all the time. Otherwise, fucking wieners.
I love
just brilliant.
Game. Genuinely,
I loved it too.
A great time with this game.
Yeah, I would love to be able to get hold of that PC one and see if someone's like kept it alive and made it playable online.
I really bet they have.
This is up there with like NHL hits and Wayne Gretzky on the N64 for me now. It's in the holy trinity of Alex's hockey fun. S tier all the way.
I was going to say, I would play it again
right now.
Is it controversial if I want to say I want to put this in an S tier? But I do. This is an S tier game.
It got a 90 on Metacritic. I don't think we're not going against the grain, at least. So
no,
yeah, it's one of 2 S tiers for me, I reckon. But we'll get to my second one later, obviously. But I don't think there's more than 2. There's a spoiler there. Here's the next X tier, Ready to Rumble Boxing Round 2. No, it isn't.
It's good. I did enjoy it.
It's a game where surprisingly the most offensive thing about it is not the inclusion of Michael Jackson.
Did you play this Had you played this before you?
Yes, I owned it I've got it on the Dreamcast.
So I had Ready to Rumble box in the first one on Nintendo 64. So I came into this
yes,
feeling like I had an idea of what I was expecting. I think the career mode is cool. I played a good bit of the career mode. It's fun.
It's okay.
It's easy to mess up. I mean,
it's pretty. I found the training almost impossible, and every single one of them I found so hard. So I just started doing auto training.
I did that straight away. Absolutely.
Yeah, because it just kind of feels like I'm just doing auto training and then having a fight, which is basically just what else can you do in a boxing game, right? Unless you play that Punch Club
Unless
on the
you get Spike
iPhone.
Lee like the NBA did to write you a story.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did that in the Fight Night games. Actually, they had stories in those. Definitely in one of them, they have a story, like a proper story mode.
EA did that with all the games for a while. I remember there's like NFL games where you're like a college kid that's got an alcoholic dad and stuff like that.
They did it in FIFA as well, didn't they?
Yeah. Because there's that, and then there's that like famous picture of like Peter Cech sitting in a suit with his scrum cap on in a boardroom doing contract negotiations.
Oh yeah. But at the end, it's a boxing video game. So fundamentally, you're going to end up doing is boxing. They're kind of hamstrung by that anyway. Like that, you're going to have a boxing match.
I feel
no matter
like
what you've done in between, it's going to end with that over and over again.
Maybe feel free to tell me I'm speaking out my ass, but like when it comes to boxing games, I think you have to consider them within the remit of basically a fighting game. That's what they are. And so I sort of look at it like that insofar. And the reason I'm saying that is look at it insofar as like how you interact with the character, like how you do different moves, like how is it doing? So like, for example, we've got another fighting game on this list, but you and I have been sort of loosely poking at fighting games on and off throughout this year. And I guess it's just sort of understanding how these games want you to play, learning move sets, learning dodge moves, learning blocking, and I think that broadly similar to a fighting game. For me, it's a cartoony fighting game, and it's fine, it's good. I enjoyed my time with it. I think the characters are funny. I think they're interesting. I think there is a layer of planning and tactics to this that, depending on your play style, you can lean into and lean out of. You can sort of, when you're training your character in the career mode, you can say what type of fighter you want to be and try and design your play style around that as well as your training. I think the characters that you end up fighting against are funny. I ended up fighting against some Samoan woman who would just belly flop me every time I got close to her.
Yeah.
It doesn't too
definitely would not fly in today's market, but it's having fun with itself.
The first person you fight is a Chinese person who just does like Hong Kong Fooey moves and makes like Hayat moves. You're absolutely right. And the guy I picked to be in the career mode was the guy with the afro, who is like
I did that at first,
stereotypical black dude. So you're absolutely right. I still had fun with it though.
I had fun with it too. I played it far more than I expected to. I was playing as the English bloke.
The guy with the moustache.
Big Willie Johnson. That's what
Johnson.
You get for not respecting Big Willie. I think it's not overly deep, but it's not a straight up just button mashing game.
No, it's somewhere in the middle, I think. Yeah, I agree. It's not like you're right.
Yeah.
I went on a bit of a tangent about fighting games and didn't really explain myself properly, but you're right. It's not massively deep, but there is a depth to that game.
Yeah, I think I maybe just sort of figured it out quite quickly. Sort of how to get in, take a few shots, and then use the kind of like the low block and back move where you kind of like back step to sort of get out of there again. I can't remember. Maybe I said it on easy or something. I can't remember. I might well have done that because I'm pretty sure the first time I played it, I played that big Samoan lass and she completely like annihilated me. She just wouldn't let me like breathe. I was just up in the corner.
Times. She absolutely laid. She kept getting me because the way I was playing the game was I would sort of try and run in, invite an attack, and just get out of the way, and then basically as soon as she would swing or they would swing, I would jump back in with like a haymaker and just try and like clock them one, or I would just try and bait them with a low blow. She often got me stuck in a corner and just beat the living hell out of me.
Yeah, I stuck it on easy and then had a much more fun time. It also helped that I downloaded the manual online so I could actually see how to use the rumble thing, because I'm pretty sure that first match I got all the way up to the third tier of the rumble and didn't know what I was doing.
What did you have to do? Tell me.
You have to press I think it's like L2 and R2 or something. Once you get the rumble spelled out, you do that, and then they sort of power up, and then you press square and triangle at the same time, and you do like an ultimate move. And if you then get to the second level of rumble and then the third, if you get to the third one, you basically punch them out of the ring and win the fight immediately. So I did that a couple of times. That was really fun. It's a game, as you say, doesn't take itself too seriously. It's very easy to kind of get into, but it's not completely mindless. There is a little bit of depth to the fighting. It's just a fun time. I played the career mode like until like 1 a.m. I was like, what am I doing? I need to go to bed and start playing Ready to Rumble Boxing Round 2 career mode, because I got my guy to basically like 100% on everything really quickly and was just fucking wrecking everyone. I had a good time.
I've got a few fun memories. So like I was saying, I had this on N64. That Ready to Rumble Boxing and Beetle Adventure Racing are probably like in my mind like lesser loved games that I have just got such a soft spot from that console for.
I need to play Beetle Adventure Racing. I've wanted to play that again for a long time because I remember thinking it was pretty fun.
There's a Jurassic Park level. I actually need to go back and play that again. There's a Anyway,
get it on your Retroid. We'll have a look at it when we're up there.
Rumble Box.
Oh no, don't actually. That's something I've learned. Don't put N64 games on the Retroid. It's a waste of time.
The controls.
You haven't got the C buttons. It's just you can't play it. Yeah. It's horrible. I got so excited to play like Perfect Dark, and it was just impossible. The controls are just not transferable.
I'm fully committed. I'm going on a PS2 mission on the way down this train. I cannot wait. I actually cannot wait to just sit on a train because I've got nothing else I can do. I can read or I can play.
I'm very jealous of that. I'm going to be listening to John Romero the whole way down. I think.
Good. We can talk about that as well because I've already listened to that.
His dad and stepdad, Christ Almighty.
I can't believe how normal he has turned out, like, and how chilled he comes across. Obviously, it's his writing. So Anyway, it's a C for me. This one.
Oh, I had it in A.
You had an A?
Yeah.
Well, we split the difference and go B?
Okay. I think if you compare, because what have we got at the moment, right? I had more fun playing this than I did Dynasty Warriors and Fantavision and FIFA and ISS and everything that we've got in there so far.
Do you know what? I've got this, I'm in this weird position in this list already that I think Fantavision, I think this list is right, i.e. Dynasty Warriors 2 and Fantavision are Bs, and I do think FIFA and ISS are Cs. I did have fun playing FIFA though, so I'm looking at it thinking I probably had about as much fun playing FIFA as I did Ready to Rumble Boxing. However, I do think Ready to Rumble Boxing is better. But we'll just stick it in B then. Let's go B.
Yeah, let's go B. Ridge Racer 5 is the next one.
This is one I wonder if I like this more than you do, based on based on the chats that we've had.
Yeah, I gave it another go. It's a very good Ridge Racer game. I think it's actually one of the best Ridge Racer games. It's got the classic circuit from the original arcade game in it, which is around Ridge City or something like that. I think once you get the hang of the drifting, it handles like a dream. The cars have got a lot more weight to them than they do in Ridge Racer Type 4, which was previously my favorite in the series. But I think, having like at the point this came out, this was easily the best Ridge Racer to play. I played the original Ridge Racer a while ago. It's actually quite a rough time. It's got the classic Grand Prix mode in it. You play a race. You've got to qualify by getting in the top 3 a couple of times, and then you win the final. It's accessible as ever. There's no story in it though. The Ridge Racer Type 4's got a story, like it's got like lots of stories where you're joining teams and you're talking to the people in the teams. And they've all got like little stories around them. That game just feels like it has a personality to it that for some reason Ridge Racer 5 doesn't have. Ridge Racer games seem to love being launch titles. You had the first one was a launch title for PS1. This was PS2. Ridge Racer 6 was a launch title for the 360. I think I prefer 6 to this. But I think the biggest problem I had with it, other than the soundtrack, which I thought is disgusting, there's one song where you're in the final race which sounds like a pneumatic drill. I can't describe it any other way than that. It was like giving me a headache. It's disgusting. I'm going to put it in the podcast now. Just listen to this shit. So that took away from the vibes. I feel like
you've now got Kelsey turning in his metaphorical grave. I feel like
maybe he likes the soundtrack in 5, but I hated it. I think the soundtrack in Type 4 is incredible, and that one has like, it's just vibes all over it. This one just feels like a really good racer. It didn't have any vibes to it. It was just, I felt the announcer was a bit of a twat. He was pissing me off. He's obviously not a native English speaker, so there was a bit of a problem with his pronunciation of some words, but they can be funny. This is too close for comfort.
See, I found him annoying because he was like, "Oh, do you want to be the Ridge Racer? These guys take on danger every day. You just got to get your team together and enter." And I was like, "I'm here. I'm racing. Why tell me to enter?"
There are tons of other activities across the city or other events. Like, okay, I'll do them then. This is the game, isn't it?
But the game's like, no. You didn't come third, so you've got to do this.
You're out. And even if you do come third, this has 14 tracks in it, but they're basically all just interconnected circuits of the Ridge City area over and over again, where sometimes you go left at this bit and sometimes you go right and sometimes it's nighttime. But it really did feel like every track had at least 1 or 2 corners in the same every single time, that same tunnel every single time. Like, I just kept feeling like, is it any of these tracks ever going to change? And then I kind of realized, okay, this must be the Ridge Racer thing, right? Where it's just, here's the circuit and you'll do different kind of ways round it, and that's what Ridge Racer is, because it's the circuit from the first game. But the one on the Ridge Racer 2 on the PSP is like 40 tracks, so that's got new circuits and stuff that was from all the previous, like every other previous game in the series as well. So I just felt like once you've raced 1 or 2 circuits, you've raced them all. It felt a bit of a disappointment, although it did help me get really good at the game and really start to enjoy it and win races. So yeah, for me, it's like lacking the vibes of Type 4, which is just immaculate. But this one plays better. It feels weightier, and once you get the hang of it, it's fucking awesome. Like, Ridge Racer is great. How about you?
When you were talking about that, the thing that stood out to me, so I had a really good time with this game. I found it really hard, probably harder, obviously, than you did. I struggled quite a bit with it, but I was having a sort of enjoyable struggle with it. I was having challenging races with the AI in every race.
Yes.
You were talking about, you spoke about something, but I wrote down.
So here, the drifting, right?
That was it. That's what you're talking about.
It's basically the kind of angle and length of your drift is basically seems to be determined by how long you let go of the A button for before you press it down again. And once I figured that out, you then you're tuning it. So if you're doing like a slight corner, you're letting go a little bit and then pressing it again to do a slight drift. If you've got a massive corner, you're fully taking your finger off A for a second or two to let your car like almost get to a 90-degree angle, and then you're accelerating again. And once I got the hang of that, I was away.
So
before that, I was drifting all the time by accident. I was like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm. Similar to you, I wrote down what you were talking about, the drifting, and I felt like I got better at the game when I, in my head, sort of made the decision to go, right, David, stop thinking about this as a racing game and thinking about this learning how to Ridge Racer. if that makes sense. So like when you're approaching corners in a Forza game or a Gran Turismo game or a Grid or a Dirt or whatever other racing game, Formula One game, there's a way to enter the corners. With this game, that did not work for me at all.
It's not how they want you to play it. Yeah,
I had to sort of learn the way that the game wanted me to play it and just sort of play it on its terms rather than sort of my understanding of racing game terms. And when I did 100%. That, I felt better. And either way, I'm fine with that. If it had gone with the sort of tried and tested how you race a car, I'm fine with that. Again, I think I will caveat this. I have played Ridge Racer games before, but I'm not like an aficionado. If you'd asked me what games I played, I honestly couldn't tell you. I just know that I have played a Ridge Racer game at some point in my life. So yeah, I was sort of. I feel like I was coming to this fairly new with a bit of a blank canvas. So yeah, it did take a bit of learning for me. I will agree with you. I think the game was pretty sterile. It didn't have much personality of its own beyond the way that you sort of interact with the car, i.e. the racing style.
Exactly.
It was very bland. Like everything was grey and sterile and just lacked any personality whatsoever. I do agree with you. The music was bad. The voiceover guy was also bad, and that's not just a dig because his native language wasn't English. I'm sure he speaks English much better than I do Japanese. However, he was just saying like we touched on before, useless things. He was like talking about like, I don't know, it was like he was trying to be a radio presenter. However, the reality is he's only talking to the player. So he was speaking like he was speaking to someone that might just have the radio on or be watching this on TV, when actually he's just speaking to the player. So him saying, "Oh, you can enter your own team," well, I've already done that. I'm racing.
Those bits sound like they're like generic for like, here's anyone listening to the radio. But then, as you say, he's actually reacting to only what you do.
Yeah.
So it's really weird. Yeah, it's really like tonally off.
So gameplay wise, I ended up really liking this, and I found myself becoming quite addicted to trying to improve. And because I was struggling so much with what I found is the difficulty, I was really, really enjoying. Like, say I'd come 7th in one race, and I'd be like, oh, 6th, and then I'd come 3rd, and I'm like, oh, can I beat that? I had an awesome time doing that and just like racing and learning tracks over and over again. Everything else around the game I thought was stale and bland and lacked personality. But the game itself, i.e. the controller, was awesome. So for me, it's probably an A for me, honestly.
Exactly where I had it.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a lot of drawbacks to this game, but I think the actual like rubber meets the road interacting with the game is really good. Bearing in mind that I've not played or cannot recall other Ridge Racer games.
Yeah, that might be something I try and force you to rectify when we're in Doncaster. Yeah. If you can get hold of 6 on the Xbox and stick it in your Series X and play it in 60 FPS and just watch that thing fly about. Yeah. That's great. Or just chuck the PSP games on your Retroid on the way up and just say, it's
the PSP ones. What are the good?
The PSP games, which I haven't played, are supposedly the best by a mile. That's a Kelsey thing and an everybody else thing. Ridge Racer and Ridge Racer 2 on the PSP are apparently like bangers. I'll send you a video actually, because there's a really good video from a guy who used to be a games writer, and he did like a sort of ranking the whole series, and it's like a really chilled out watch. I'll see if I can find it. Hold on. I think he used to write for like Electronic Gaming Monthly, and he's got like quite a small YouTube channel, but he's good. He's got his voice isn't annoying. He's not doing anything stupid for like clout or whatever. He's just like straight up sort of industry vet. Oh, what's going on here? Hold on. There you go. Right, I've sent you it in Discord.
Awesome.
It's a great video.
Just add it to later.
Right. Silent Scope is our next one.
Franchise.
How many have we got left to do here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. We'll.
What's happened here?
It's a franchise since 2000.
Okay. Silent Scope. This game, I feel like if I had an arcade cabinet at home for Silent Scope, I'd have a lovely time with this.
Or just even gun support would be fine.
Yeah, using my controller takes a game that has obvious potential, is actually quite funny,
very funny. Couldn't believe that. I thought I thought this was a super serious.
Yeah.
From what I could remember, the arcade machine was like super serious sniper game. This game was dumb as hell, and I was laughing out loud at it.
It's a cool game that doesn't fit the console, I think is the one sentence review I'll give you for that.
Yep. I still did have fun playing it. I kind of liked sort of finding the target, like zooming out, find where the target is, zoom back in, slow the scope down with the, I can't remember what button it is now, like the D-pad or whatever, to go like super slow, and then like, shoot them in the head.
Yeah.
But a lot of reviews at the time said how good it would be for a rental. And that really made sense to me. Like, this is you don't want to own this and play it for weeks at a time.
No.
It's
so was that your only option to play this game, was with a controller?
Yeah, there was no gun support for anything.
Yeah.
Really,
it's a real shame, because, like, if there's sort of gun support for it, I've got vague memories of playing a Silent Scope game in an arcade where you had, like, you're zoomed out on a big screen in front of you, and then you looked through a sniper scope to get the zoomed in version, and that was great. Really, really good.
Really, really cool.
It's a game series that is held back by, from the PS2 perspective, held back by the hardware, and held back because people can't have an arcade machine in their, not everyone can have an arcade machine in their house to fully enjoy this game. It's a cool game that is just let down by the environment in which it operates, unfortunately for me.
Mm-hmm.
And even when it comes to like light gun games, it wouldn't make a list of light guns I want to play because of
you need a sniper light gun.
You need a scope, right, to properly enjoy that, and that becomes an extremely expensive purchase.
Yeah, it's such a shame, because whether intentionally or not, this game is genuinely hilarious. Like,
it must be intentional. Running around the NFL field.
I mean, that was so funny.
Chasing them.
Yeah, he's like kidnapped the president's daughter, and he's like somehow weaving in between American football players who are all trying to tackle him, while you're trying to snipe him from the stands. But I like the voiceover as well. Oh no, he's still alive. He's hijacked a truck. Hijacked a truck, and he's heading towards you. And even the training mode, where you've got to like shoot, it says you're in the bottom left-hand corner of your target, and you've got to like shoot dudes in a house, but sometimes it'll be like, oh, it's a kid holding a shotgun, and you go to shoot him and it's like a kid holding a teddy bear instead, or it's like a guy holding a guitar instead of a shotgun. Amazing. I loved that. The soundtrack as well. Soundtrack is like proper jazz. It was mad. What is this game?
It's also one of those games that feel like, as you're playing it, you're like, this, I know I'm sort of riffing on what I've said before, but it feels like it just needs an arcade machine attached to it. Even like, because I think like playing it with a controller, having like the time limit and stuff does feel very, I've stuck £1 in to the arcade machine and it's counting me down. If it was, drop that. But it doesn't. It needs a peripheral, I think, to make this game what it is, and the cost of the peripheral, because you need sort of a screen inside a scope. For it's a cool game. It's a cool game. Funny, entertaining. I can see the appeal of it. I don't want to play it at home.
Yeah.
I just don't want to play it at home.
No,
sorry.
No, sadly not. I would say it's B tier, like right
B
sort of. Yeah,
yeah.
I think it's good. It's made me laugh. It just doesn't have a gun support.
If you feel
weird,
if you feel strongly about it, happy for it to be a B tier. For me, for the same reason, it's a C, because it's a fun game. I can see the appeal of it. I just think, like, if you've given me a PS2, I'd rather play FIFA than I would this game. But if you're saying which game do you want to play? I do want to play Silent Scope more than I want to play FIFA, but I want to play it in an arcade. So, yeah, for me it's a C, but if you want it to be a B, I'm not. I mean, we're talking matters of degrees here, so whichever.
Did I have any more C tier? Yeah, I did. The ones I've been putting in C tier, like I enjoyed far less than this.
Well, stick it in B.
Put it bottom of B.
Put it bottom of B. We can have a last run through at the end. But yeah, like I said, I'm not going to fight either way. Not going to fight either way with that.
Smuggler's Run. I can kind of see why Rockstar published this in the lead up to GTA 3.
Yeah. Do you think they got some like car driving learnings from it? Is that weird? Or are you taking the cop chasing, or are you taking the?
It's got a little bit.
It's trying to be edgy. I can see how the theme might appeal to a Rockstar. Why did that woman keep calling me baby all the time? Oh, mine got stuck, and she just kept saying, "If you win this, baby, I'll make it worth your time. If you win this, baby, I'll make it worth your time." Over and over and over and over again. I didn't want her to make it worth my time. I wanted her to leave me alone by the end of my time with that game.
It's total semantics, but for me, right, there's definitely a difference between saying, "How you doing, baby," to starting a sentence with "baby." Because that's different. That's like it's my name. Because there was one where she kept going, "Baby, you got to hurry up. Time's running out." It's like that's not.
You got to hurry up, really baby. Time is running out is how you should be.
Yeah, not baby. Like I don't respond to baby.
You should have slammed on the brakes and went, "Hold on a minute, wifey."
Yeah, yeah. Ultimately, though, this game is just driving around probably the ugliest terrain I have ever seen, picking up packages. And then driving them to somewhere while the cops try and murder you in cold blood.
Yeah. I think as I was playing this game, I was streaming it as well. I described it as just like ferociously competent. Like, I feel like it's doing exactly what it wants to do, but what it wants to do isn't actually that fun. But it's like, well, I can't hold that against you. You're just not that. It's like the driving's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's absolutely fine. But everything else around it sucks. How it looks, like
that's how it looks. I think,
like the environments are devoid of character.
And it's not just it's not just the graphics are like low res. It's like the design of the map is so low level and everything just looks like a toy village. It just looks like toys.
And did you notice as well? So like in the early, it changed as the missions went on. But in the early missions, you would pick up a package and the package would be worth like say $20,000. And every time you took damage, it would take money off of the value of the package. But it would also, so like if you were driving and you went from a horizontal plane onto going up a hill, it would take money off the package because
I was losing bits of my car going uphill
because you went uphill, and it was just like that. No, I just went uphill. I didn't pick the big heavy vehicle that looks like it's just a damage sponge.
The SUV thing,
the fast, quick thing with lots of springs. Like me going up a hill should not be damaging this. Like I said, ferociously competent because I feel like it sets out to be a point-to-point racer, and it does that. There's nothing wrong with the racing, really.
They handle quite fun, and you can drive anywhere. You can fly up the side of a hill instead of going the beaten track.
There's just nothing in it that makes me want to play it. Really?
Yeah, it's a like straight up N64, like early N64 game, like one of those throwaway ones.
That's a good descriptor. Yeah. I don't hate it, which makes me think
I don't hate it.
I just think it's not.
No, it's C. I think it's definite C. Yeah. It's just it's just something about like it's almost inexplicable when you're playing it. Like, why is this boring? Why is driving like around this map, like flying this car about? The cops are trying to murder me. I've got like sometimes you're fighting the other team, and
they try and do some story. It's like there's like some Irish people moving in on your turf, so you've just got to show them that you can drive better than them. And I'm just like,
they try and add story to this game just by giving you basically one page of text before you do the same thing you just did a minute ago.
Yeah,
it's not a story.
I feel like I don't know why, but I just feel like they were channeling, the lady that kept calling me baby. was meant to be the lady with the lipstick in the Warriors movie.
Oh, exactly what I was thinking the entire time playing it. Yeah, that's exactly what I reckon they tried to rip off.
A budget version.
No, yeah, very strange.
Yeah, it's a C, right? I don't
hate
it's
bottom of C.
It's still not good. It's still not a good game.
No, it's just boring.
Yeah.
Well, again, that isn't boring. SSX has to be trying to make it look like sex. I can't understand. What does SSX mean something?
Oh, that's a good question. I've got no idea. I've never thought of that until you just said that.
SSX is a very cool game. I wish I was actually good at. I haven't played any of the later games in the series.
I played this a lot in 2000 when it came out. Me and my friend Joel would play this a lot. So I was looking forward to playing it, and I was taken aback a little bit about how much I had sort of forgotten about the game when I picked it up, and it just took me a while to remember the ins and outs of it. The tricks gave you speed boosts and stuff like that, and yeah, even this is a cool game. I think the music's quite fun. It looks cool.
Yep.
The characters
looks very good actually,
and actually the different characters like interact with the different tracks that you are in a distinct manner.
I enjoyed the English guy getting really wound up.
They feel different as well. Like, so like I say, like I know this is a very reductive version, but like the English guy that you're talking about, like he's quite fast. If you're just sort of generally racing, he's pretty good. However, there's the I've forgotten his name, but he's like a young 15-year-old kid. It's much easier to do tricks with him. Yeah. So it's easier to build up boost. Like I feel like noticeably so. And I think a lot of these games,
I struggled with the tricks.
Yeah, I think eventually when it comes, like a lot of games around this sort of ilk, like Tony Hawk and stuff like that, like stats don't mean that much. Whereas for me, they really did in this game.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think it's a fun game that it feels very 2000, like feels very of its era. Like
definitely.
Down to the music to the vibes it puts off to
the attitude of it for sure. The really colourful. Cool, it's I really like the concept of it. I've never actually been like a massive snowboarding game fan. Like I think 1080 was just really boring.
There we go.
My favorite snowboarding game was probably like Snowboard Kids on the N64.
The one I remember playing. So I've got vague memories of like 1080 snowboarding and liking it. I actually remember being a kid, and there was in our local Argos in Aberdeen, there was an N64 setup that had 1080 snowboarding on it, and me and this, he was in my head, he was a fully blown adult, but I actually think he was probably like a 15, 16, 17-year-old kid.
Probably.
Me and him just sat and played it. He was so good with me because I was a little kid, and he just sat and like we just played together for ages, I feel like, in that. But yeah, the Cool Borders was the PlayStation snowboarding game.
I know you're into that.
I was a big into that. But this one is far better than Cool Borders was, because I remember going back to Cool Borders, and it's hard to go back to. But this one is perfectly fine and fun, actually, to go back to.
Yeah, it is. It is. I love that. I like the race aspect. Obviously, is what keeps the game feeling fun and exciting, and it's where it really shines.
I found it quite hard. Is that just like time?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
How did you get on with it?
Yeah. No. I sucked. I really like the idea that you get the speed boost by having to do the tricks, which makes you engage with both the mechanics at the same time.
Forces
I just felt, I imagine this is probably better in the later games, which I haven't played, but I found some elements of the tricks just a little bit too floaty and not quite smooth and tight enough. Like when you trying to get onto a rail,
I found getting on
like that was almost impossible. Like when you're holding A to jump, you can't move left or right like you can in Tony Hawk. So you have to be locked into that angle, otherwise you are fucked. Flips. Well, it tells you to hold forwards to go fast, and so I was always holding forwards, and then if I started to do a trick, I just face plant over and over again. You would never sort of do the. I couldn't get a backflip or a front flip to work,
unless I use the D-pad, weirdly.
So I was saying this. I remember, I think it was when I was playing FIFA. I was saying this. For me as a gamer, I'm not sure. I'm sure it happened for many people before that because the DualShock came out in the PS1. But for me as a gamer, my transition between using the D-pad for moving around and using the DualShock, or using the analog stick, happened during the PS2 era. Because I remember me and Joel used to play FIFA all the time. And I was still playing FIFA with the D-pad while he was using the dual analog stick.
Some of my mates used to do that with Pro Evo as well. And one of them used to say, it's only got like 8 directions of move. It's not full 360 movement on the plays. It's only 8 directions. So that's what you need. Why wouldn't you use a D-pad? Yeah.
Whereas, like I was finding when I was playing SSX that I was finding it easier to deliberately do things with the D-pad, whereas with
100%.
I was often like flipping off and trying to do back and forward flips when all I was trying to do was spin.
I'm so glad that's not just me, because that's exactly how I found it as well. If I did try and do like a whatever it was, Shifty McTwist or whatever, like if I did the D-pad directions, I could see him lining up for it as I prepared to do the jump, and he would do it. But like I said, they're forcing you to do tricks to get the boost. Like there's that one track that you basically do for the first whatever tournament is that I is the only one I did. That's got like a big jump right before the final like slope into the finish line. Mm-hmm. And there was a couple of races where I'd somehow nail an incredible trick and get loads of boost and just boom, like get the win the race because I built up the boost from that final jump. Really, it felt really damn good to do that. I'd be very much interested. I think I've actually got on the PS2. I'm pretty sure I've got SSX 3. I think Tricky's the one everyone goes on about, isn't it? That's the second one, I think.
But yeah, SSX is the one I played just because we were kids that were earning monthly pocket money rather than.
Yeah. I'd like to try one of the later ones, see if it feels any better and more sort of responsive, because this one felt a bit floaty. But I think it's really good.
Yeah,
I would probably say it's B.
Yeah, I feel.
I wouldn't quite put it A.
No, it's not. It's not quite A, but it's
I mean, it's probably top of B. Looking at those other games there,
I'd agree. It was sort of borderline A for me, so happy with top of B.
Okay, we can put it A if you want. In fact, we are going to put it A because you had all those memories as a kid, so you've got genuine like for this game at the launch of the PS2. So it's going A because we've got more in B than anywhere else already. Anyway, right, Tekken Tag Tournament. I think this game rules, and this game is sick, man.
I thought it's absolutely hands down an S.
It's a definite S.
This game is fantastic.
Yeah,
such a good time with this.
Yeah, I think the Tekken games, they're kind of pretty good at sort of being relatively accessible fighters.
Yeah. I feel like I've been sleeping on these games.
You can chain like single button combos to pull off decent moves rather than having to do like quarter circles and all that nonsense. I really like the tag aspect of this one, which is not quite the same as the Marvel crossover games where like everyone's health has to be depleted before somebody wins. This one is one person gets knocked out, you lose. So you have to be really tactical as you sub them out, and then their health will kind of regenerate to a point while they're not fighting. So you kind of have to manage that. Some of the moves you can do, I mean, I don't necessarily do them, but some of them are insane. I had one where I was fighting King, and he did like a triple wrestling move combo and like knocked me out in one go. It was like a belly to back suplex into a powerbomb into something else. It was absolutely ridiculous. The arcade version of this apparently ran on a 32-bit engine, which utilized the graphics engine of Tekken 3, and they ran it using like what they called a Tekken 3 PCB board in the arcade.
So is this the fourth Tekken game? So Tekken 1, 2, 3 came out on PS1. Tekken Tag came out was a launch game for PS2,
well, it was ported to PS2, but the arcade version was based on PlayStation hardware. So this actually looks way better than the arcade version because this was actually running on a highly updated engine which utilized the PS2's graphics processor rather than the PS1. So it looks way better than the arcade. It plays brilliantly. it's a better version of Tekken 3, which I already love with a tag mode. Better looking version of Tekken 3 with a tag mode. One thing I don't know what there is not to love.
You and I were texting earlier on today, and I was, because of this game, I've sort of now got a fresh interest in the Tekken series, and I was looking up different Tekken games in anticipation of going to Doncaster in a couple of days, and it sort of started confusing me because there seems to be multiple different versions of the same game, but it seems, like I said to you, it seems to boil down to there's the arcade version and there's the home console version that will have a slightly different name, and the home console version will have something different about it, so they'll just call it a completely different name. They don't seem to consider Tekken Tag as a proper Tekken game, as far as I can tell. It seems to be it's considered a spin-off.
Yeah, that makes sense. But it is basically just Tekken with an extra bloke.
Yeah,
but there's nothing wrong with that.
I agree with that.
I quite like it.
I do think my experience echoes yours, and so far as the tag aspect of the game adds a nice, interesting dynamic that isn't there. Obviously, if it wasn't there, that's such a terrible sentence. But you know what I mean. Like you're thinking about.
Well, there's a mode where you can just do one-on-one, isn't there? Yeah, and then I'm like, this is just Tekken again now.
Do I like you're some? I don't know. Everybody, when they have a Tekken game, I assume, will have their favorite character. So like you get your character, and if your favorite character starts to lose health, you tag them out, and then obviously try and hold on with the other guy, or do you stay with your favorite guy and just finish them off properly? I gave myself a glimpse of a few moves that I really, really like. So I would figure out different things that I could do, and then I would accidentally do things. I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. The Chinese guy that's a bit like Bruce Lee, I've forgotten his name.
Yes.
I did this thing where like he came running in, I tagged in, he just came sprinting out full speed and then like skidded across the ground and kicked someone up into the air, and then I was able to do like a. Oh, it was.
I never managed to do that, but you could do a combo throw. Something like if you hit a throw and then you tag at the moment that you connect with the throw, that they'll come in and like do something he just came afterwards.
Absolutely hating in and did something amazing. I've got no idea how I did that, but
I was trying and I never managed to do that.
I'm not a fighting game aficionado. Just like I tried to say, was that about Bridge Racer before? Anyway.
Yeah, I think so.
Badly. I can't say that word, turns out.
You're not a Tekken connoisseur.
I'm not a Tekken connoisseur. However, I like that there are a range of playstyles within Tekken.
Yes.
Like to the point that they feel dramatically different between characters. I was messing about loads of different characters, and some of them felt so alien compared to characters I was sort of used to. I like that, and I like the character design. I think Tekken's an awesome series that I'm now a brand new fan of, and I had Tekken Tag's a really I can't fault it really at all.
I know I can't. It's why it's S. I think it's fantastic. It holds up perfectly to this day. There's nothing about this that feels aged
on this list.
Yeah, me too.
I'm trying to see one that I might like better. I don't think there is.
No, I mean I had a great time with NHL, but. It's those two really, like the absolute jewels in this crown. Sadly, not added to by the original TimeSplitters. It plays better than I expected it would.
I was about to say, I think this played better than I was thinking it would, because it's the old dual analog stick, which I think is that's the hard line for me. I'm like, can I play with two analog sticks or not? And if the answer's no, I kind of struggle, if I'm honest, these days.
You can also move while aiming, which I didn't think you could do in the second game when I most recently played it. And I would say this felt like an N64 game, but the biggest problem I have with it is that it's so basic, it actually feels like a regression from the N64 games that most of these blokes were making when they were still with Rare.
It's incredibly basic. It doesn't explain itself. No. You have to read
the manual
to understand the story.
Why am I in different time periods, and why are the different time periods not actually like representative of that time period?
There's one thing I sometimes think about back to my time playing GoldenEye and think, how did I know what I had to do? Because I don't feel like it tells you. And I sort of
said, do this, and you have to figure out how to do that.
And it's like stick a tracker on something, and you're like, well, I don't know. But somehow I just knew where that was. I had that with this game, so I got dropped in. And I was like, I've got no story. You're not telling me who these characters are whatsoever. You're not telling me why I am where I am. And then like I got through the level and then I picked something up and then it was like, oh, so what do I do now? And I just had to wander about until I saw a red circle. And it wasn't until for a moment that I realized, oh, you've got to go into the level, collect a key, and then get back to where you started.
And when you collect that, you then set off the actual time splitters themselves, who then come after you.
Start coming after you. It does not explain itself at all.
No.
So surprisingly playable.
Yeah. Auto aim helps.
But it doesn't even try to explain itself, which I find frustrating.
No.
And like I said, I know I'm repeating myself now, but I don't want to have to read the manual or the back of the box to understand what's going on. You should be able to tell me that in the game.
Yeah, that's the one problem when you start going back this far to play games with a modern sensibility in your head, because it's like I expect this game to tell me how to play it at the start.
This game
and
is
some
not
games
up for
just
that
won't.
at all. It is not up for it. It's a funny one.
I mean, the shooting's fine. It ran pretty well.
Yep.
It's just so bare bones, and which is so disappointing.
Fun.
Yeah,
bare bones is bare bones is the word.
But like,
because you've played 2 recently, and that is not,
and 3. Yeah, 3 has a great story to it. It's quite funny. Like, it's a really great game. But this one, when these guys made Perfect Dark, like, that has so much to it. Story, cutscenes, objectives that were different for each level. Like, and it had all these different modes. Mm-hmm. This one is basically just like a shooting gallery game that was rushed out by a new team for a console launch, which is probably what it is. The next 2 games are so much better than this. Like, this is not terrible. It's just nothing. You start the level, you shoot people, you find the thing, and then you go back to the start, and then it ends. And sometimes, or wherever the circle is. Sometimes the circle is a few yards from where you find the item, and you'll end the level like 10 seconds after you found it. And you'll think, what just happened? And then now all of a sudden I'm in the 70s. Oh, but there's robots here. Like, what?
Well, that's the thing. Like, so I was reading as you were setting up the tier list for this podcast. I was reading the back of the box, and we were talking about the American cover versus the British cover. So
yeah,
I was like, oh, I wonder if they write different blurbs for different territories. So I was reading the back of the box of the 2 territories, and I just feel like I ended up feeling like it was talking a lot about it's like set in the past, it's set in the present, it's set in the future, and you get to use all these the best guns from the past, present, and future. And I was like, well, it just doesn't explain that whatsoever. Like the setting is incidental. Like the setting
I don't think it does that.
The setting does not change the way in which you interact with the world at all. Mm-mm. So I was like, yeah, I guess technically it does have, like, you're going through an Egyptian level for example, but it doesn't make it Egyptian. It's just a yellow skin on, and then you go to the next level, and it's the same level sort of makeup, but they'll change the colors to make it look like it's from a different era, and so like it doesn't actually help it being like. I know this is a different genre entirely, but like the one that jumps to mind is like Indiana Jones. When you're in different areas, it feels like a different area because you're interacting with it in different ways, and you use environments and stuff. Like, there's no environmental usage in TimeSplitters that will make you think like you could give them a sandstorm when you're in Egypt, for example. None of that. It's just color. It's just color. So actually, the different time periods mean nothing, which is a real shame.
Really don't. Yeah, they do later on, but this and they definitely once they started to do the 3rd game where they actually just had a character in different time periods, like moving between them himself.
So why are you?
That was the way to do it.
Time?
I don't.
What is this?
Not a clue.
What's that TV show? Because I was like, oh, is it like that
Quantum Leap or whatever it is?
Leap. Are you the same?
Yeah.
Same person in a different body? I don't.
It's almost like what we're following is the antagonists. Like, we are following the periods of time where people set off the time splitters by doing something.
But everyone knows,
and we are those people. Yeah. Like, mechanically, yeah. you know what you're doing already. You've made loads of games like this before, but I just don't understand why you took all the context and like objectives out of them for this one.
Yeah.
This should have been better than GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. This is you breaking away from Rare to create Free Radical, making what is your bread and butter, and it's just like you've just basically just done a tech demo. It's a C tier because it's not. Sorry, go on.
Personality in a video game boils down to more than set dressing, which I think is
more than a kooky-looking guy in a silly costume. Yeah,
it's C. It's not a terrible game, like you're saying. It's functionally competent. It's just not very good. It's better than
Smuggler's Run, though. Yeah. It's definitely better than our last game today, which is Wild Wil Racing. Imagine getting a PS2, a brand spanking new PS2, and this is what you get with it. Like this absolutely smacks off.
It's like Mario Kart.
Yeah, your mum being like, "Oh, I asked the man at the shop which game had the most wolf on the cover, and he said this one." Like, yeah, great. This racing isn't even singular wild, and yet these charlatans have the audacity to put 2 wilds in the title. It's not even one wild. Especially when you start a level, and there was one where it's like showing me the best racing times, and the man who had the best times was Colin. I couldn't compete with Colin, by the way, so he's clearly good at his job. But what the fuck was that? Who's Colin?
There's one. It's like the 3rd or 4th race you do when you're going uphill. It hurts my eyes. Like it made like the. And I knew you would know the term, but like, so it's when you're going up the hill, it felt like, so I've got this memory of going to Alton Towers when I was a kid, right? And you go into this sort of indoor horror mansion and you sit in the seat and it straps you in and it sort of rocks back and forth, like really gently, but also as it's rocking you back and forth, the room spins as well. And it just made me feel really, really sick. I got that from this game for some reason when I was going around a corner. The way the mountains were moving with respect to the. Oh,
you mean that really low quality JPEG of the same mountain?
Yeah,
over and over again.
But then there's a bit where you go uphill, and it's almost like there's someone like turning the map for you as you're like moving up, and it was making me feel slightly unwell playing it.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I mean, the tracks are all just like mud.
I was trying to brake and skid around the corner, and it was always the car was always going in the opposite direction of what I wanted it to go.
Why don't they turn? Don't know. If you brake it, it just slows down while still going completely straight. If you want it to turn sharply, I think the best way I found to turn sharply was just to hit someone else, and then you do like a proper nice sharp turn and drive off.
There's nothing to this. Like I feel like there's no power ups. Like I feel like Smuggler's Run, at least the sort of interaction with the car itself and driving it around was competent and fun. This doesn't have anything. I feel like it's a game that in another world would have had like collectible weapons and stuff like that. Like I say, it feels like an attempt at a PS2 game. Or a PS2 game attempt at Mario Kart on the SNES, not the N64 version, the SNES version. That's what it feels like to me, and not a very good version either.
No, it looks shit. It runs shit. Like we're emulating this, and it was dropping below 30 FPS. It's one of the few games, and that was me putting it in 720p. Ridge Racer running at 60 FPS in 4K. This was a joke considering how ugly this game is compared to Ridge Racer. Like I said, like every track is just mud. You're racing buggies over some mud. One of them had a bit of snow, and all of them, as we've said, are in front of a JPEG of a mountain that just sort of changes color. But I think it was the same mountain. So you start in America, it had a bit of green on it. Then you were in India, and I swear it just was more brown. And then you were in Iceland. It's like someone just went into paint and get the paint bucket tool and just put some white on it. I was like, it's got snow on it now. You're in Iceland, remember? Just what? And mate, the soundtrack's also pointless. You can't hear it because the buggies are making so much lawnmower noise. But it sounds like, when you get like a Casio keyboard, they've got in those built-in demos. You press a button, it just plays. It sounded like something like that.
I did like the box art. I think the box art's good. I'll tell you that.
Oh, the box art's, yeah. Well, like I said, that's what got your mum to get it for you because it's got a wolf on it.
Right.
And I did the challenge mode as well, which was drive around the track and get the letters.
Oh, I did that as well. Kimono. What has a kimono got to do with?
Why by yourself? I mean, if you want it to actually be a challenge in Diddy Kong Racing, I'm collecting the coins, but there's other people there. Why am I doing this on my own? So it's not a challenge to drive a course and slowly get letters.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, do I have to find them? But no, they're always in it. It's got an alarm that starts going off when you get near them.
They're just a little bit to the right.
So apparently, kimono,
again, you call yourselves wild, two wilds, unbelievable.
You might know this. Kimono is a Japanese term that broadly means beast or animal. The term's specific meaning varies by context and is several
or it's pajamas.
Japanese subcultures.
Yeah.
Anthropomorphic animals, which I suppose the cover art animal does look like it's anthropomorphic.
Maybe.
Maybe it's just a head. It's got lips and stuff and eyes. Yeah. Screw it. It's D for me.
Yeah, it is D. It's better than Aqua. Is it better than Gradius?
Yeah. Yeah.
It probably is. But I hated it. It was awful.
Aqua
really shit.
Gradius is the second worst in Wild Wil Racing's. I mean, like, I didn't hate it, but it's not good.
It was laughably bad. Like I actually found it quite amusing how terrible every aspect of that game is.
Wasn't good,
the handling, the graphics, the background, the music, the game modes is nothing about it was good. But somehow it wasn't the worst thing. Yeah, we've done it.
We've done it, Alex.
Are we going to go through and sort out the individual things within the ranks? Did you want to have one last do-over?
Well, to me, the S tier's right. We've got Tekken Tag Tournament above NHL 2001. That's correct for me. Is that? Do you want to dispute?
No, that's fine.
Again, I've got Ridge Racer above SSX. I think that's probably correct as well.
Yeah.
Fantavision, Dynasty Warriors 2, Ready to Rumble, Boxing Round 2. How do you feel about that?
Yep. I think that's right.
And then FIFA in C, we've got FIFA.
Remember, Silent Scope was at the bottom of B there.
Sorry, didn't add Silent Scope. And in C tier, we've got FIFA, ISS, TimeSplitters, Smugglers Run. That's probably about right.
That's the order. Yeah, that is the order.
And D, I think, is correct as well. We've got Wild Wil Racing, Gradius, and then Aqua. I'm not going to argue with any of those.
No.
And that's it, I guess.
That is it.
Let me bring up the script. Next up, we're continuing the PS2 bandwagon. We're going to talk about our top 10 individual PS2 games. That's right, isn't it? We're going to make a list of each of our top 10 PS2 games and run down the list. So get ready for that. And we do have another one beyond that booked in, don't we? What's the next one after that?
I think we're going to do this. Are we going to do the SNES Mega Drive Roulette and then finish the year off with Cyberpunk, baby?
Yeah, have you started Cyberpunk yet?
No, I've been trying not to get... Well, I haven't had the time to put down the PS2 games in order to play it.
It is, from what I've played so far, it is a phenomenal game. I have had such a good time with it. Really.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I was sitting playing it last night. Because I was watching football last night. It must have been Tuesday night. Thinking, really, nobody does world and character development like CDPR. They are just in a class of their own. So looking forward to getting to that. But we've got a while before that and a couple more podcasts to get to before.
Yeah, probably a draft as well. Kelsey, we're going to do. Yeah.
And I suppose on that note, we've reached the end of another episode. So if you liked what you heard, and if you didn't, why not give our numbers a bump by subscribing to our podcast on your podcast feed of choice? Or if you prefer to consume our podcast in a visual format, you can head on over to YouTube channel and search for Winners U Podcast, where you can subscribe to the channel there. If the podcast isn't enough for you, the best place to get us these days is over on Blue Sky at Thrillix for Alex and at Super Smiley for me, and also at Winner Is You Pod for us. If you're one of the audience, we've also got TikTok, so head on over there and search for Winner Is You Pod if you so wish. Alex, have you got any housekeeping?
When's this going to come out? Monday? No
housekeeping.
No housekeeping. Look forward to the PS2 top 10. It's a good episode. We've already done it. We already know it's good.
Yeah, it's very fun. For me, in fact, I'll save it for the next podcast because I want to actually have one finished. But basically, my plan is I am going to just start playing through the PlayStation 2 back catalogue. Just going to make my way through it. And I have started by playing. I've done episode 1. I've done a World War II special of Prisoner of War, Medal of Honor Frontline, and Brothers in Arms Road to Hill 30.
What's this on Twitch or what is this?
So I've streamed it, but I think I am going to stick it on a YouTube channel somewhere. So
lovely.
Look out for that somewhere because
I will.
I need my own creative outlet as well as this. But I also know my own track record of keeping things up. So before I tell you exactly what it is, I want to actually have it up.
Yeah.
And on that bombshell, I've been David, he has been Alex, and we have been a Winner's You, and I'm out.
Keep gaming. See you in Doncaster, David.
Hell yeah.